Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily for January 9, read by Craig M. from Denny, Scotland. A thought for the day. Action. Then they outlined the spiritual answer and program of action which 100 of them had followed successfully. Though I had been only a nominal churchman, their proposals were not intellectually hard to swallow. But the program of action, though entirely sensible, was pretty drastic. It meant I would have to throw several lifelong conceptions out of the window. That was not easy. But the moment I made up my mind to go through with the process, I had the curious feeling that my alcoholic condition was relieved, as in fact it proved to be. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 42. Thought to consider. Willingness without action is fantasy. Acronyms. Sponsor. Sober person offering newcomers suggestions on recovery. Just for today. Solutions from the housewife who drank at home. I had problems. We all have them. And I thought a little brandy or a little wine now and then could certainly hurt no one. I do not believe, when I started, that I even had in mind the thought that I was drinking. I had to sleep. I had to clear my mind and free it from worry, and I had to relax. But from one or two drinks of an afternoon or evening, my intake mounted, and mounted fast. It wasn't long before I was drinking all day. I had to have that wine. The only incentive that I had, toward the end, for getting dressed in the morning was to go out and get supplies to help me get my day started. But the only thing that got started was my drinking. 4th edition, Alcoholics Anonymous, page 296. Daily Reflections. An Act of Providence. It's truly awful to admit that, glass in hand, we have warped our minds into such an obsession for destructive drinking that only an act of providence can remove it from us. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 21. My act of providence, a manifestation of divine care and direction, came as I experienced the total bankruptcy of active alcoholism. Everything meaningful in my life was gone. I telephoned Alcoholics Anonymous and, from that instant, my life has never been the same. When I reflect on the very special moment, I know that God was working in my life long before I was able to acknowledge and accept spiritual concepts. The glass was put down through this one act of providence, and my journey into sobriety began. My life continues to unfold with divine care and direction. Step 1, in which I admitted I was powerless over alcohol, that my life had become unmanageable, takes on more meaning for me, one day at a time, in the life-saving life fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. As Bill sees it, group and the worldwide community. The moment 12th step work forms a group, a discovery is made that most individuals cannot recover unless there is a group. Realization dawns on each member that he is but a small part of a whole group, that no personal sacrifice is too great for preservation of the fellowship. He learns that the clamour of desires and ambitions within him must be silenced whenever these could damage the group. It becomes plain that the group must survive, or the individual will not. The lone member at sea, the AA at war in a far land, all these members know that they belong to AA's worldwide community, that theirs is only a physical separation, that their fellows may be as near as the next port of call. Ever so importantly, they are certain that God's grace is just as much with them on the high seas or the lonely outpost as it is with them at home. 12 and 12, page 130, and a letter from 1966. Big Book quote. It's easy to let up on the spiritual program of action and rest on our laurels. We are headed for trouble if we do, for alcohol is a subtle foe. We are not cured of alcoholism. What we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of a spiritual condition. It's from Alcoholics Anonymous, Into Action, page 85. 24 hours a day. AA thought for the day. When we were drinking, most of us had no real faith in anything. We may have said that we believed in God, but we didn't act as though we did. We never honestly asked God to help us, and we never really accepted His help. To us, faith looked like helplessness. But when we came into AA, we began to have faith in God, and we found out that faith gave us strength we needed to overcome drinking. Have I learned that there is strength in faith? Meditation for the day. I will have faith, no matter what may befall me. I will be patient, even in the midst of troubles. I will not fear the strain of life, because I believe that God knows just what I can bear. I will look to the future with confidence. I know that God will not ask me to bear anything that could overcome or destroy me. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may put this day in the hands of God. I pray for faith so that nothing will upset me or weaken my determination to stay sober. Some Hazeldean Foundation, PO Box 176, Centre City, MN 55012. This is Transitions Daily. My name's Craig and I'm an alcoholic.
We hope you enjoyed today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc., 1952, 1957, 1967, 1973, 1975, 1976, 1980, 1981, 1984, 1985, 1988, 1990, or 2001.